Well, the season just gone was sort of like a tale of two seasons, where the first 15 games, we were I'd say pretty useless. I'm happy to admit that. Then beyond that point, we were absolutely, most of the time, unstoppable. So if we can become unstoppable for the whole season, I genuinely think we can win everything next season. Hello, welcome to Club 3, part 26 of the Globe Explorer. Coming up in today's episode, we do have our transfer special where we will obviously do some transfers, we'll do quick updates on the season. Obviously, we will go straight to Europa League or Champions League fixture release day. There's no point showing you the first couple games of the season because there's no point, because I suspect, unless it's anyone tricky, they should be winnable games, obviously depending on how many signings we do. Obviously depending on if we're still at Real Betis come the start of the season, because you never know what's going to happen. But the season just gone, it wasn't a terrible season. We finished sixth, obviously losing 12 games in the season isn't great, albeit most of them very tight defeats, most of them by 1 or 2 goals, but we did lose 6-1 to Bilbao and 5-3 to Pamplona. So not great results, but if we can start turning some of those defeats into wins, I think we'll be at least in the top half, because 26 points behind the league leaders. It's not great, but it's only 8 wins. So yeah, I will try and figure out something out. We'll try and sign some world-class players over the course of this summer. But the end of season review, the board didn't want. They wanted us to qualify for the Europa League. I feel like we've done that because we won the Spanish Cup, which does get you into Europa League. So I think that's a little bit messed up. So I don't really know what to say to that. But transfer-wise, this season we didn't sign too many players. Didn't sign too many first-team players. And the only first-team player who really signed was Dave Lacroix, who turned out to be obviously Kim Volmar. Those are the only two first team players who really signed. Apart from that, the rest of them were backups. Dave Lacroix, absolute brilliant season, 13 goals, 12 assists. More of that for next season. That would be absolutely amazing. I don't think we loaned out any bright, talented youngsters this season. No, we did not. I don't think we've got a few in the under 19s, but I don't think any of them are worthy of being called up just yet. But we don't really have the next Alberto Barbero or Sergio or Dionisio just yet. But maybe next season we might have a few more youngsters. We might sign a couple more tickets in today's transfer window, but I highly doubt it. But let's see what the board want from us next season. So they want us to work within the wage budget. That's fairly simple. I don't know how much wage budget we've got to work with, but I think we can do that. Sign players to sell for profit. That's kind of my signature piece. I'm very good at signing youngsters and selling them on for lots of money. Play entertaining football. That's basically what we do. We are pride of entertaining players, fans, because obviously first half of the season they think they're going to get relegated, but no, we're in a European fight come towards the end of the season. Maximum 1 year contracts for old men, basically. Then the 5 year plan next season, qualifying for the Champions League, win a domestic cup, which we sort of did that. Nothing to say to try and qualify, like win the league, but I suspect that we will try and do that within the next coming years. So they do want us to qualify for the Europa League. I presume we are in the Europa League now, because it does say that. So I could ask them not to judge it, but I'm not going to do that. So they want us to reach a quarterfinal at the minimum. So that's the last stages. So I think we can do that. Let's talk about the league expectations for next year. So obviously Europa League, I think that's a good standard to set. Champions League probably a little bit too high, but I think where we are, probably Europa League is probably the right level for us. I don't want to talk to them about Europa League, just in case we're not in it, just in case we get pushed up to Champions League, which I don't think we will, unless Mallorca are in the Europa League, which I highly doubt they are. No, they're not. I don't know where they finished last season, but they certainly weren't up that high last year. But I think this season just gone, it has the potential to be very good. Right, where are we gonna go on a training camp? Let's go Went to England last year. Let's go. Don't really want to go Portugal because that's not a big travel. Let's go Scotland. Yeah, let's go Scotland. We'll give say hi to Gary Caldwell up there while we're up there. If he is still in Scotland, he might be still in England. I don't know where he is, but we'll say hi to a couple of old England Exeter players. So that's what we're gonna do. I don't know what we're gonna do in terms of transfers. We do have a couple of players out of contract. Those are Victor Roque and obviously Costa Silva is leaving us to join Alpha 2. There is a couple of players we have promised transfers to. Those are Bruno Leno. We will send him if a bid of 24 million comes in, but at 31 years old, I think he probably does go. I mean, Jose Hernandez is the same age, but I think we very much are going to keep him. Then there's a few other players I wouldn't mind trying to get gone. Those are like the likes of Mikel Jensen, maybe Yassine Leroy, who probably could do maybe a loan spell. He is only 20 years old, so but does have a lot of potential. So I reckon Yassine Leroy can probably get gone. We won't transfer this in, but we'll see if there's any moves about for him. But apart from that, I don't really know what else there is to do. Nuhim Sissoko is a big one that could potentially go. He does have a 75 million pound release clause. We have promised him if he can go for 66 million if a bid comes in for that. But I'm praying not. Francis Boateng is also another player that is wanted, but he's valued very high, so I don't think we're going to be letting him go anytime soon. So I don't really have any plans for transfers yet, unless anyone goes. Then we might sign a few players before the opening day of the transfer window, which hopefully by then some players may have gone, including the two expiring contracts. Apart from that, don't really know what else is going to happen. It's the opening day of the transfer window. Whilst we haven't brought in anyone yet, we have sold quite a few players. There are some players that do keep having bids come in for them, one of them being Sissoko. That's mainly the only one. He's been rumoured to move to Real Madrid. There is some more offers for him. I suspect there are for Real Madrid, but we have sold quite a lot of players, including a youngster who was signed for Murcia. I presume it's Angel Molina, who has joined. Yeah, he's joined them on a free transfer. It wasn't really anywhere near the first team. I think he was sort of in the B team or the C team. But let's take a look and see who we have sold. So I presume all the players that have left have been confirmed. So obviously Victor Roque did leave the club on a free transfer. I presume he's going to retire. I mean, at 36 years old, he probably does need to retire. Then since then, Anas Oljan, yes, he came in at the start of the season. We have sold him to Nancy for a fee of 15 million, so not too bad. £6 million profit, so that is pretty decent. And next up, Mikel Jensen has joined Stuttgart for £24 million, so that's an £11 million profit. So again, not too bad. Then we have also loaned out Yassine Leroy. He has joined Toulouse for the whole of the season. Hopefully he can get some decent game time there. And there's an optional future fee involved for 1.2 million, obviously, should they like the look of him. Then Vander Costa Silva has joined Alpha 2. I knew he went to Saudi club, just couldn't remember who, so he's joined there on a free transfer. That was a pre-arranged transfer, so I don't think we've signed anyone yet. I don't think we're in. I can't remember if we're in for anyone yet. No, we're not. But let's see. Let's take a look at these offers for Sissoko. So, how many offers are there? 2 offers. I mean, we have promised him he can go for 66 million. I presume that's a flat 66 million because I keep rejecting these sorts of offers, which they're non-negotiable. If I wanted to, he's got a 75 million pound release clause. If they really want him, just pay it. That's my motto. If you really want a player, just pay their release clause or get close to it as possible, because that's absolutely ridiculous. It's sort of a cheap way to get up high, but I'm not. That one's slightly more tempting, but still non-negotiable because It's just ridiculous. I am going to keep projecting it until he gets unhappy. Straight up projection, unless they obviously do offer the release scores, and at that point we don't really have a leg to stand on. But this is the squad we are working with at the moment. Obviously, 1st of July, we've got Sissoko as the goalkeeper, our first choice at the moment. So hopefully he does stay. Then obviously Fran as backup, and I think he'll be fine as a backup. We do have obviously other goalkeepers down in the under 19s. So obviously we've got Pablo, who we might potentially look for a loan move for him just to get a bit of game time, get his current ability up. Then you never know within a couple of years, because obviously we do need to prepare for when Sissoko does eventually leave, because we don't really have any backup plans for a strike backup goal first choice goalkeeper. And obviously our centre back situation not too bad. Obviously we've got Agris Dervas, we've got Sergio, who was wanted but isn't anymore. And obviously that is all we have left. We've only got Sergio and Dervas, and obviously who left? Who left? Oh yes, we've got Guga, so we just need one more centre back potentially. Then obviously right backs, we've got Jose Fernandez, obviously Boateng is still at the club, not wanted by anyone now, which is very, very good. I still can't believe his value is up in the 100 millions. How much should we pay for him? 60 million. I mean, that'd be a pretty decent profit if we could sell him, but we're not going to sell him. Then obviously left backs, Bruno Leno is still at the club. I haven't. You know what? Let's see if there's any rumours around. See what the agent can do. We're keen. Yeah, there's nothing yet. But I'm not saying he won't. He might go. We're not gonna. It's not gonna matter if he doesn't go. He's not gonna be upset. Then obviously we've still got Kim Bulmer at the club. Probably will be very much first choice next year. But he obviously did have a couple injury spells which kept him on the sidelines. And defensive mids, obviously still got Roman Prenti. Obviously Olshan did leave the club, so we definitely need another defensive mid. Prente is wanted by a whole host of clubs, plus a few Spanish clubs from our league, but I'm hoping we can keep hold of him. But he doesn't have a very good ability. He's got 3 stars ability, but he's not really a good improve. So maybe we could do with a decent youngster with 5-star potential. I think that's what we'll try and keep an eye out. Then obviously box standard central midfielders. We've got Sydney, we've got Jose, we've got Dave Lacroix, and obviously Costa Silva did leave the club, so we'll need another central midfielder, probably another channel midfielder, because we are going to be playing Hernandez as that attacking midfielder. Then obviously alongside Dave Lacroix, a channel midfielder. Then right wingers, we've obviously got Sergio still at the club. Then we've got Manis Spears, who probably will be ever present. With that, oh my god, 100 million. Look at his value. We signed him for 18 million. I mean, that kid could make us £100 million profit. That would be absolutely amazing. Then obviously left wingers, we've got Alberto Barbero and Enrico Brunel, who we are going to give a new contract to. His contract does expire next year, but we are offering him one, and I'm just very tempted to loan him out. I think that's probably the right move, because he's been stuck on 2 stars of current ability for absolute ages. It's still at 5 stars of potential, so can do with a loan spell, I reckon. You know what? That's what we'll do. If we can get him out on loan, we'll bring in a left winger on loan. Then so that should be pretty decent, because he does need first choice football week in, week out. Then strikers, we've only got Dean Ezio at the moment, which I'm completely happy with. Just need a decent backup, because he scored 39 goals. He didn't score 39 goals. That's the amount he scored in total. That's the league total. He scored 32 goals in all competitions. I mean, that is pretty impressive. I'm not going to say he's going to do it 2 seasons away. He has a pretty impressive goal scoring record at his own club. So he could do it 3 seasons in a row, getting over 20 goals. That wouldn't be too bad. So at the moment, the squad's looking good. We just need a few players here and there. I suspect more players will probably end up leaving the club. So I think we'll probably, I don't know when the start of the season is. The fixtures haven't been announced yet. So I think we'll probably come back 2 or 3 weeks before the start of the season. And hopefully by then, I want to say hopefully, I want to get this squad pretty much complete by then. But you never know. We might be short of a few players. But hopefully the bulk of the squad should be complete. Well, we do have just over 2 weeks until we get started with our first game of the season, which is against Villarreal. So a pretty, I'd say a simple start to the season. Villarreal, Valencia, then Sevilla, Real Madrid. So Real Madrid's the first difficult game as usual. Actually, in the whole of September, we play Madrid, Bilbao, and Barcelona. So pretty difficult month that. Yeah, that's not a great month, to be honest. If we can win our first 2 games in this season, I think we'll be fine. But if we have a start like last year where we don't get going until the 15th game of the season, it's going to be another long old season. But we have done plenty of transfer business. I was hoping I'd have most of the squad complete, but we're still missing a few key positions. But these are the players we have brought in. We've actually also sold a few more players. Bernal has gone out alone to Rennes. He's playing there for the whole of the season, so hopefully he can get some decent first team football, which he's not going to get with us. Coming in this season, did we sign anyone on the back end of last year? I don't think we did. These guys were just trialists. So signings we've made so far, we've signed McCarthy Hamagami. He is a Japanese central midfielder. We are training him to be a channel midfielder, so he'll play in that role, will be a backup to that role, but he can also play as a attack midfielder, which is quite handy. He's 2.5 stars of current ability, 3 stars of potential. Good first division player. He comes in from G Osaka, who's in Japan for 3.3 million, so quite cheap. And looking by his value, I think we can make a decent profit. You ignore the current ability, some of his stats do actually look quite good. Very good at long shots, decent acceleration, which is I guess is quite good. And overall physical stats pretty positive. There's some areas that could do with a little bit of improvement, i.e., concentration, possibly bravery, maybe tackling. But that's why he's a central midfielder, not a defensive mid. So, but he could be a decent backup there. Next up, we have got William, who's the Brazilian defensive midfielder, 2.5 stars of current ability, 5 stars of potential. Good first division player, could improve a lot. He comes in from SBO for £16.75 million, so not a bad signing. I mean, judging by his potential, I think he's going to be a top quality player. What does unflappable mean? That's what I want to know. What does that actually mean? Unflappable. That's just, I've never heard of that saying before, but he's unflappable. That's his media handle, whatever that means. I don't know what that means. And then next up, we've got Kima Andres, another defensive midfielder, 36 years old, 3.5 stars of current ability. Not going to grow much, but he is 36 years old, but he's very much at the end of his career, but he's still top quality player, still a leading player, and he comes in from Spurs, £10 million. I know it's on the pricey side for an old man, but he looks very good. Still, I mean, mentally, a very good player, and some technical, yeah, not too bad. And he's not actually that slow, so I reckon he's good. I think he's going to very much be the first choice this year. Then William, very much hopefully next season is going to be the first choice. So that's the plan. Get an old guy this season, and obviously have a youngster as backup. Then hopefully they can swap around. So that's all the signings we've done for now. But this is the squad at the moment. Obviously, Leroy and Bernal both out on loan, so ignore them too. So the goalkeepers, we've still got Sissoko. We've had numerous bids for him. We've rejected all of them because they're just not good enough. And Sissoko hasn't got upset. I presume if it was a flat 66 and we rejected it, yeah, he would be upset. But as a result, he's not. They've obviously still got Fran as backup. Then right backs, we've still got Fernandez and Boateng. Centre backs, we've got Guga, Dervas, and Who else do we have? We've got Guga, Dervas. I'm missing one, aren't I? Guga, Dervas. Who else was playing centre back for us last year? We can't have sold enough. No, we had Sergio because he's in with the right backs. I don't know why he's there, but obviously we've got 3 centre backs. We still need another centre back. I am keeping an eye out for one, but I just don't want to spend a lot of money for potentially a guy who's not going to be playing week in, week out. We might splurge a little bit. Then obviously left backs we've got Leno and Volmar. On the defensive midfielders, we've got William and Kima Andres. Then centre midfielders, we've got Nubay Magasi alongside who else do we have? We've got Sydney, Dave Lacroix and Jose Hernandez. Obviously, right wingers, we've got Sergio, who is wanted by Villarreal. I don't think we're going to sell him. Very much like to keep him as backup. Then obviously we do have Manis Smiris, who played up front in the friendlies. That is very strange. Then obviously left wingers, we've got Alberto Barbero, so we do need another left winger. Then obviously our only striker at the moment is Dionisio, so we are keeping an eye out for another striker. We did have one lined up, Axel Iono, but he turned us down. I think he went to another Spanish team who I can't remember who went to. I feel like it's probably Villarreal or someone like that, but he turned us down and didn't want to join us. So hopefully by the time we get around to our first game of the season, obviously we are going to go straight to Europa League fixture release day. Hopefully by the time we play Villarreal, should have, ideally, obviously it is only in 2 weeks, so hopefully we might have got in, I reckon we'll have got in at least one more player, potentially, if we're lucky, all 3. Well, we have made it to the start of a brand new season, and I have signed the players that I've wanted to sign. Whether or not they're any good, that remains for us to find out throughout the whole of the season. It's 2 loans, 1 permanent, but allow us to introduce our new players. First up, we've got in Glenn Payne. He is a English centre-back, could also play left-back, but primarily brought him in to be a centre-back. 3 stars of current ability, 5 stars of potential. Good first division player, could improve a lot. He comes in from West Bromwich Albion. He was one of our youth boys. He actually wasn't a youth boy. We actually signed him for West Brom. Then we've signed him for Real Betis now for £49 million. So look at his value, 7 caps for England. I signed him as a youngster. I didn't think he was going to be one of the best centre backs in England, or he looks like he's played a lot of games for West Brom. I wouldn't say over, yeah, it's over 100. Yeah, definitely over 100 games for West Brom, which is not too shabby. I did a lot of good transfer business at West Brom. I think it's very much underrated, in my opinion. Then next up, we've got Mikel Campa. He's a Spanish left winger, 2 stars of capability, 4 stars of potential. Leading second division player, potentially first division. He comes in on a loan from Chelsea, mainly because obviously Enrique's gone out and Bernal's gone out on loan. He's going to come back next season. It makes sense just to get in a loan left winger instead of a permanent. And next up, we've got Ivan Kondric, who's a Croatian striker, 2 stars of current ability, 4.5 stars of potential. Needs a second division striker, potentially first division. He comes in on a season-long loan from Manchester City, and started off his playing career at Osijek in the Croatian leagues, where he's not been too bad. Hopefully he can score a good amount of goals. I don't know how much game time this guy's going to get, but he just looks like he has some pretty decent stats, and hopefully can provide some decent competition with Dionisio up front. With all the transfers pretty much done and us about to start on the new season, let's see where we're predicted to finish. So we are predicted to finish 5th, which I think is where we've been predicted to finish for the past couple of seasons. Sissoko is still in the Dream 11. Nobody else at the moment. I'd say within the next few years, I'd expect to see Smiris in there and Alberto Barbero, hopefully, and possibly Sergio in the near future. I reckon within the next couple of years we'll have at least a few more players in the Dream 11. What's the projected lineup? So I reckon that's pretty. Well, I mean, for the first time, I reckon that's pretty much spot on. The front 3, bang on. The midfield 3, absolutely spot on. Lacroix, Hernandez, and Kima. Yeah, but I retain Sergio Dervas. Payne at left back, I wouldn't say so. Then obviously Sissoko got so I mean that's not too bad. I mean Payne can play left back, but he's not really going to play there week in, week out. But he might be like a third choice left back. Obviously, the original plan is just to play the first couple of games, and hopefully we get given a nice, easy run of games in the league phase of the Europa League. Let's find out the fixtures. Before we do reveal the Europa League fixtures for this year's league phase, which I personally believe we're going to finish inside the top 8, let's take a look at our first two results of the new league season in the Spanish league. So we did beat Villarreal 1-0 in our opening game of the season. Dave Lacroix with the only goal in that game. Then the second game was a 4-0 win over Valencia. Dionisio getting 2 goals and Jose Hernandez getting 2 goals in that game. So it's 100% winning start. Let's see how long that may continue. I suspect it's probably going to go to pot into September because that's a pretty difficult month. And you can already see 2 of the fixtures, Freiburg and Feyenoord. But let's take a look at the others. Obviously, you know the first 2, Freiburg and Feyenoord. The third match will be against Rizespor, who's a Turkish side. Then we face English side Bournemouth. Then if we go into the second half, then we go face Liverpool. So hopefully by then we'll be inside the top 8 fairly comfortably. Then we face Falkirk, who's a Scottish side who have been pretty much unstoppable. I don't know how many Scottish titles they've actually won, but they have actually won quite a lot. They've had some form of tycoon takeover that have really emerged in the Scottish leagues within the last 29 to 30. They've been in the top 3, which is quite insane. It really is, because I've never really heard of them. I don't know how good they are in real life. I don't know if they're in the Premiership in real life, or with the Championship they might be, but they're really good, and I'm quite nervous about them because we played them in a friendly and lost against them. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. And our last 2 games are against Lucerne, who's a Swiss side. Then we face German side Mainz 05 as the final Europa League phase game. So hopefully by then it should all be wrapped up, and the top 8 spot, round of 16 spot, should be all secure. Maybe we might even finish top of the league. I doubt it, because I don't know. I don't actually know who else is in this Europa League phase. So who else is in there? It could potentially be quite a tricky team. Rangers are in there, another Scottish team. Who else? Obviously we've got likes of the Greek teams are easy. I mean, there's not many. I'd say the only hard team is Liverpool, possibly Roma. Obviously, we've also got Mallorca in there, so I don't know how good they are compared to us, but I think they're pretty useless. They've won their first game. They've won 1 game. They've lost the game. So I think the Europa League, I think it should be a piece of cake. So that's where we will wrap it up for today's episode. So it has been a good start to the season. So I think I will see you all in tomorrow's episode. We probably will play Real Madrid, because we always play Real Madrid. It's a very good game, and hopefully, judging by this form, I reckon we can beat them. Then we'll also play our first ever Europa League game against Freiburg. If you have enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more Daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.